a very good evening everybody and welcome along to St Mary's for tonight's Under-21 Premier League Cup match between Southampton and Norwich. The two sides down on the pitch in front of us warming up. We're getting all the build-up to kick off here. It'll kick off at approximately 7 p.m. Let me start by giving you the pre-match Martin Hunter interview. He's the Under-21's coach. Let's hear his thoughts ahead of the game.
Martin, there's been a few days to rest and recover after the good win against Fulham. How are your players looking?
We've trained this morning. They'll be fully recovered by tomorrow, so we've been very careful with the amount of work that we've done. We've done a little bit of preparation for Norwich this morning, and we'll do a little more on game day tomorrow.
This is something you were talking about before Christmas, wasn't it? Having these games quickly in succession.
Yeah, it's ideal. Playing 2 games a week, not every week, but it gives the players a flavour of what they're going to come up with, or come up against, should I say, when they become senior players. So it's all good experience for them. And
the confidence that the win will have given them on Monday night is also a positive to take into Norwich.
Very much so. We've just done a debrief of the game, and as you know, you were there, you saw the game. It's a very difficult second half, and we defended in numbers and very, very well, very maturely. That was very, very pleasing.
Showed a lot of different qualities, would it be fair to say, on Monday? You know, the defensive side, but also some good attacking play and the style of football that Southampton like to play.
That's right, but you can't always play, you know, the way you want to play, particularly away from home. So obviously we started the game really well, got 2 early goals, and then they got a head of steam up after the goal that they scored, and then it was, like I said, it was backs to the wall sometimes in the second half. Having said that, Will only had a couple of sort of half saves to make, rather than full-blooded. So that's testament to the, you know, all the players that played and the substitutes that came on as well.
How important will a fast start again be on Thursday against Norwich?
Always very important to start games, you know, in a strong vein, with lots of energy. That's how we like to start all the games. It gives you a platform then to build on. It's very, very difficult if you start slowly and you are having to defend. It's much better to be on the front foot.
What can you expect from Norwich City on Thursday night?
We've obviously played them once before. They're well organised. They play in a very similar fashion to us. They can be direct at times. We've done some work on that. So it's a different challenge. We keep saying that. It's at the stadium, which is important again for their development, understanding how to play in a Premier League stadium. So we'll prepare thoroughly, like we always do.
And of course, it is a cup game. How much would you like a cup run, and how much would these players like to advance in this competition?
Well, we're actually fighting on 2 fronts, aren't we? We're trying to finish high up in the league to get into the playoffs, and trying to get into the quarter-final of this competition, where we'll play Watford. So it's important. Winning at this age is important. So the players are, you know, up for it. They understand the challenges that they've got to put up with.
With 7 games unbeaten and having beaten Norwich already at the stadium earlier this season, confidence couldn't be much higher. But I suppose you'll have to make sure the players are well aware of the challenge they face.
They're very level-headed. They understand it's a game at a time. In the league, for instance, we're only halfway through the fixtures now. We only play 20 league fixtures, so we're halfway through the season. So we have matches, and it's helped by the cup run. We don't want a sort of 2 or 3 week periods like we had in 2014, where we're just training.
And of course, if you did progress, there would be another game next week as well to keep that continuity and to keep that momentum that they've built up.
Yeah, that would be ideal. When we would play it, I think it's got to be played in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So we'd have to look at our schedule to make sure we do get some recovery time before the West Ham games and Chelsea games that are coming up shortly.
And on the injury front, how's Omar Rowe looking? And obviously Jake Sinclair has returned from Hibernian this week.
Yes, Jake's back in the squad. Omar Rowe is doing really well. He's back on the pitches. He'll still be some time before he's fully back in the squad and match fit. And I spoke to Cody yesterday. He's on the mend. He's got quite a heavy concussion, and he'll be back in the frame in the next few weeks.
Martin?
Well, those are the thoughts there of Under-21's coach Martin Hunter. Before we carry on with the game, let's go and hear from Dominic Gape. He's starting this afternoon's game in midfield. Here's what the midfielder had to say.
Gabriel, let's just start with the fact you made your Premier League debut. How special was that for you?
Yeah, it was obviously a special moment in my career, one that I'll never forget. But just as much as it was special for me, it's probably special for my family as well.
Because as a player, that's what you work hard for, isn't it? To strive to achieve.
Yeah, I've been at the club since I was 8, so it's always been something that I've looked to, and a point in my career that I've been looking to try and achieve. And for it to actually happen, it was just a special moment.
For some, it was a Christmas break, a bit of time off, bit of time to relax. But for you, it was in and around the first team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's exactly what I want, really, to be in and around the first team. You miss your Christmas, but that's what part of being a footballer is all about, and that's the kind of fixtures and periods that you really look forward to.
What has that done for your confidence and your belief as a player?
It's done a lot, to be fair. It gives you that extra bit of confidence. It obviously makes you feel good about yourself, and hopefully I can carry that through into under-21's performances and push on.
Yeah, for some players, that rest is important, but do you still feel physically good ahead of the second half of the season?
Oh yeah, I had obviously a 3-month foot injury at the start of the season, which I did loads of rehab, and my body had quite a good rest there where I was off and on crutches and stuff. So yeah, I'm feeling ready to go.
I suppose for you're coming back to full strength, are you, with all the games that you've been playing?
Yeah, definitely. I feel good about myself. Feel good about my fitness. So obviously we've got a fit squad here, so yeah, I'm looking forward to cracking on.
How tough was that injury, being out for so long, and the opportunity to be back now playing regularly?
It was a tough one. I've had a few injuries in the past, so after each injury, you know how to deal with things and cope with things, and you just got to, as soon as the injury's done, from that day onwards, it's a positive and it's a step in the right direction to getting back.
And this week is certainly the games coming thick and fast. Playing on Monday night at Fulham, and then again on Thursday in the Premier League Cup. What was Fulham like, first of all?
Fulham was a tough game. I mean, it was two sides trying to play football. I think we had a really good first half, and then we didn't quite play as well as we wanted to in the second half, but we got the result. So it was a hard-fought performance, and it just shows the team spirit that we've got in the under-21 squad.
And what can you expect from Norwich in the under-21 Premier League Cup at St Mary's?
I'm expecting them to turn up and be raring to go, so it should be a good battle.
What confidence can you take from the fact you have beaten them once already at St Mary's this season?
Yeah, that's obviously something I wasn't involved in, but for the boys, especially who was playing, they can take that and collect that in preparing for the game. But we know not to underestimate them.
Do you think that gives you guys the advantage?
It's football, isn't it? It's all about what happens on the day, I think, personally. So as long as we prepare right, which we are doing, recover well and get ready for the game, I think we'll be okay. And
how important is a cup run? It obviously keeps the momentum going. It's 7 unbeaten at the moment for the team.
Yeah, definitely. We've had I've had a bit of a bad time in the past with the Youth Cup. We didn't go as far as we wanted, so this is a big opportunity, especially for me, to try and push on and get into a position where we could go on and win it maybe.
The thoughts there of Dominic Gape ahead of this evening's Barclays Under-21 Premier League Cup match between Southampton and Norwich. We're about 6 minutes or so away from kick-off. You can see the pitch there vacated by the players, and we're nearly set for tonight's game. Let's have a little look back at how the Under-21s got on Monday night when they took on Fulham at Motspur Park.
Send me no letter. Don't think I could forget.
Well, those are the highlights of Southampton's under-21 Premier League match at Fulham on Monday night, running out 2-1 winners. Let's focus on tonight first and have a little look at the lineup. This is how Saints line up for this evening's game.
In goal tonight is Will Britt. The goalkeeper is currently on loan at Maidenhead United but still trains with the club and is available for under-21s fixtures. He made his first appearance of the season on Monday night against Fulham and will be looking to seize his opportunity in front of a bumper crowd this evening. Jake Flanagan is one of Martin Hunter's more versatile players. Tonight he takes up the right-back position but has also played in the centre of midfield this season. He travelled to Belgium with the first team over the summer and was involved in pre-season friendlies with Ronald Koeman's side. Josh DeBayo has been a regular for the under-21 side this season, making 8 appearances for Martin Hunter's squad, all at left-back. DeBayo is one of the younger members of tonight's squad but hasn't let his age hold him back. Watch out for him getting forward and overlapping down the this evening. Domgate's season so far has been a little bit of a roller coaster. He missed out on the first cover to full fitness and made his first team debut against Everton. The defensive midfielder has been with the club since he was 8 years old and will captain the side tonight. Ollie Cook takes advantage of Jason McCarthy's involvement with the first team by stepping up from the under-18s to start at centre-back. He's made one previous appearance for the under-21s against Everton, which ended in a 3-1 defeat. But he's been ever present for Anthony Limbrick's side, producing consistent form that has put him on Martin Hunter's radar. Partnering Cook in central defence tonight is Bevis Mugabe. He spent the start of this campaign on the sidelines nursing a long-term knee injury, but now he's back and part of a side that are unbeaten since September. Mugabe scored his first goal for the under-21s in Monday's win over Fulham and always looks a threat from set pieces. Josh Sims has had quite a season. He won the European Under-17 Championship with England last summer and has appeared 19 times for the under-21s and 18s so far this season, racking up 3 goals and 5 assists. The 17-year-old starts on the right side of a 3-pronged attack tonight. Under-18s captain Armani Little has regularly made the step up to the under-21s this season, playing 5 times for Martin. In fact, Armani has played the most of any academy player this season, appearing 22 times for the 18s and 21s this year, all in the centre of midfield. Ryan Seeger is Saints' main goal threat. 9 strikes so far this season has made him the Barclays Under-21 Premier League's joint top goal scorer and has earned him a call-up to Ronald Koeman's first-team squad, where the attacker has been named on the substitutes bench on multiple occasions. Sam McQueen will be one of the more well-known faces in Martin Hunter's side tonight. The 19-year-old is yet to make a league appearance for the first team but came on in last season's FA Cup 5th round clash against Sunderland. He has been one of the standout performers for Martin Hunter's side this season and starts tonight as the more attacking of a 3-man midfield. Tonight marks Jake Sinclair's first appearance for the under-21 since August, when he played in their season opener against Fulham. Since then, he's been on loan at Scottish Championship side Hibernian, where he made 3 senior appearances. Let's hope it's a winning welcome back to Southampton for him this evening as he starts on the left side of attack. Tonight's substitutes bench includes Callum Slattery, an under-16 who scored a stunning winner in last month's FA Youth Cup tie against West Ham United. Niall Mason, Chris Johns, Harley Willard and under-18's top goal scorer Marcus Barnes make up the rest.
Well, good evening everybody and welcome along to St Mary's. It's Barclays Under-21 Premier League Cup action here this evening as Saints youngsters look to extend their 7-match unbeaten run and book their place in the last 8 of the competition. Having seen off Ipswich in the last round, Saints youngsters now face another East Anglian outfit. Norwich City come here having beaten Fulham in round 3. Well, this is how Southampton line up tonight. Will Britt makes his first start of the season in goal. Jake Flanagan begins at right back. Josh DeBayo at left back. Ollie Cook and Bevis Mugabe, the 2 centre halves. There's a 3-man midfield of Dominic Gape, Armani Little and Sam McQueen. Up front, Jake Sinclair returns from his loan spell at Hibs. He's Ryan Seeger and Josh Sims. The bench is Marcus Barnes, Callum Slattery, Niall Mason, Harley Willard and Chris Johns, the goalkeeper. So that's how your Southampton team line up as you watch them warm up down on the field in front of us. Let me just run you through the Norwich City team, who have actually made quite a youthful start for a youthful team for tonight's game. Remy Matthews is in goal. Reece Hall-Johnson is their captain at right back. Michael Effetti is their left back. We've then got McFadden and Gaffati at centre backs. Ramsey, Norman, McGrandles and Kelly are their midfield. Ashley Seal and Grant are up front. Well, I'm delighted tonight to be joined by Southampton's under-18s coach, Anthony Limbrick. He joins me for the first time up in the commentary box. Anthony, it's great to have you along for tonight's game. What do you make of the setting, first of all? Because for these players to have a chance to play at St Mary's, a great opportunity for them.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think that it's a great opportunity to play any time at the stadium, to get the experience of playing in front of a crowd, and there's a lot more pressure on these sorts of games, so it's great for the young players. I think last time that the 21s played against Norwich, it was a really good performance and they came out with a victory, so hopefully they can do that again tonight.
And as we say, they are a little bit more youthful. There's certainly a few players that you know in amongst them. Let's talk about Ollie Cook starting at centre-back, just his second start for the under-21s.
Yeah, there certainly is. I mean, Ollie Cook started a lot of the games in the under-18s so far this season, which has been fantastic for him. He came in at the start of this season and really got away well early on and formed a good partnership with a couple of the other centre-backs in the 18s. So for him to get his opportunity tonight, he really deserves it. He works hard. He's a good lad, so hopefully he can take his chance tonight.
Excellent. That's the voice of Southampton's under-18s coach, Anthony Limbrick. We're going to be hearing more from him as the evening goes on, but Norwich City are about to kick us off, and they do, and they hit it straight over to that left-hand side, far too far for their number 11, Sam Kelly, to get on the end of. Southampton and Norwich have already met once here at St Mary's this season. Southampton running out 2-0 winners. Harrison Reed and Jason McCarthy getting on the goal sheet there. Both of them in the squad last night up at Ipswich in the FA Cup third round replay. I can tell you that it was a little bit colder there last night than it is tonight, but it's still a pretty cold evening here on the south coast as the ball runs back to Remy Matthews in goal for Norwich City. It's McFadden down the line. Flicked outside looking for Lewis Ramsey, starting on the right-hand side. Josh DeBayo with some early defending, playing at left back down the line, giving Ryan Seeger something to think about. Sam McQueen battling with Cameron Norman. McQueen's come out with the ball. Tries to flick it through the legs of Ramsey, but it's back in Norwich possession on this near side. Bevis Mugabe there just helping the ball, and there's an offside flag there. We've got the first free kick of the evening, which Bevis Mugabe, who scored on Monday night, that was the under-21s last match, a 2-1 win up at Fulham. And we should say early on, hello if you're listening to Cody Cropper, who of course got injured in the first couple of minutes of that game, a pretty serious knock to the head. We wish him well, and hopefully he'll be back in between the sticks very shortly.
Yeah, I saw Cody today. It was good to see him. He obviously had a bit of a black eye and a big shiner on his face, but he was in good spirits and looking forward to getting back to it straight away. It was obviously a nervous time when it happened so early on in the game, but I think he's a tough lad and works hard to get back, so fingers crossed for him, he can get back soon.
It gives Will Britt a chance tonight to show what he's about. Of course, he was on loan at Norwich in the 12-13 season. There's a stray back pass there, and I'm afraid Mugabe has just clipped the heels of the number 9, that's Ashley Seal. And are we going to see a card produced here by the referee? I think it's just going to be a free kick. And I think that, oh no, I think we are going to see a card. It's going to be the first yellow of the evening to Bevis Mugabe. Well, he scored on Monday night and he's already in the book here this evening. And I think that Mugabe can probably be thankful that Ollie Cook was covering that.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. I think the number 9 was almost in there. Ollie was on the cover, which means he doesn't get a red card, Bevis, and thankfully so. I think a little bit harsh from the referee, just because it's so early on in the game, 2 minutes, and you've seen a lot of teams and players get away with that in other games. But as long as he's careful now, Bevis, and make sure he doesn't make too many other fouls, he should be okay.
Gives the Southampton defence something to think about. The free kick's going to be taken by the number 10, Raymond Grant. Here he comes, left-footed, over the wall and over the bar as well. It hit the back of the net. It just kind of looks from this angle like that might have crept under the crossbar, but it did indeed go over the bar, and it's a goal kick to Southampton, 0-0.
I think it'll be interesting tonight to see Jake Sinclair. We haven't seen him for a while. Obviously, he's been on loan up at Hibernian in Scotland and did a little bit of work with him the other day, and it was good to see him back again. So I think he'll be looking to really impress tonight and get on the ball and cause that fullback problems.
Yeah, made 3 senior appearances for Hibernian, did Jake Sinclair. Probably didn't see as much first-team action as he'd have liked, it's probably fair to say, as the ball is cleared along by Will Britt. Brought down by Jake Flanagan, blocked by the Norwich player over on that far side. And, ball comes off of a Southampton man and out for a Norwich throw over on that far side of the field. Good opportunity tonight for some of the younger players to show what they're about. Of course, Harrison Reed and Jason McCarthy, as I said, both scored in this match earlier on in the season and both involved in the first team setup in recent weeks. Jason McCarthy making his first team debut at Crystal Palace on Boxing Day. Harrison Reed's been in and around it now for quite a while and of course played the full 90 minutes last night. Here come Norwich on the attack again though. Good defending, tracking back from Dominic Gape, another player who recently made his Premier League debut, home to Everton. Striding across halfway, it's Norman. Over to this right back where they capped in Reece Hall-Johnson. Flick it back inside, interception by Debayo. Jake Sinclair will try and set Debayo away. Sinclair was actually caught late and it's going to be a free kick. Let's just mention Josh Debayo because he's one of these players who seemed to start off at centre-back and now suddenly he's finding himself playing more at left-back. It's one of these sort of versatile players that could probably play well in both positions.
Yeah, I think sometimes when young players are developing, you're not quite sure of where they might play. I think he's got some good attributes in either position. I think we had a look at him at the start of this season, having played a lot at centre-back last year, and looked at him and thought, do you know what, he's got the attribute of running with the ball, he can cross, he can defend 1v1, so we sort of started him there and gave him a little run and he's enjoyed it, to be honest.
I suppose a prime example of a player who did that was probably Callum Chambers, who started in an attacking midfield kind of position, went to right back, and suddenly when he played against Southampton the other day, he's playing in centre midfield. I mean, these players who sort of, you need to find where they're best and find where to play them, and when they're still young you can try them out in different positions.
Yeah, I mean, some players will have a set position from when they're very young, and it's quite obvious that someone is going to be a centre-back or a striker, but there's other players who, are quite versatile and have good experience. Another one of them would be Jake Flanagan, really. He's been playing centre midfield for most of the time, but can easily slot in at right back and has done quite well recently in that position.
And on the flip side, you had Will Wood, who's of course one of your players, who seems to start off at left back, and then I think last season he even played at left midfield, and now Martin Hunter seems to be playing him at centre back. I mean, I guess it's all about versatility at that age and just trying to show coaches where you can play and what your attributes are.
Well, I think when Will came into the club when he was an under-13, he was originally a striker, so he's slowly working his way backwards, so I'm sure he won't end up in goal though.
No, well, he scored a couple of good goals last season, I remember, in a few under-18s games. We just have a break in play here because number 5, Carl McFadden, is just down, receiving some treatment in his own penalty area. Southampton and Norwich meet later on in the season up in East Anglia. The 9th of March is when these two sides meet in the league. As I say, Southampton have already beaten them here at St Mary's. Norwich's next few fixtures are quite interesting. They play Sunderland and then they play Borussia Mönchengladbach. Norwich in the Under-21s Cup, a little international tournament that's going on there. We are fit to resume and Remy Matthews clears the ball long. Ollie Cook appeals for a free kick, nothing given, and Jake Flanagan will work it out to Josh Sims. First chance for him to really get on the ball, and he wins a throw-in over on that far side of the field. As I mentioned before, Southampton come into this game off the back of a 7-match unbeaten run, finishing most recently with that 2-1 win up at Fulham on Monday night. A quick turnaround for the under-21s this one, as Sam McQueen, who got the winning goal in the last round of the competition for Southampton, tries to get the ball out from under his feet. Here's Armani Little. Bevis Mugabe, wearing bright yellow boots, traditional for a centre-half. It's over to Debayo. Now Sinclair. Sinclair lost it forward. Sims made the run. It might fall to McQueen. McQueen does keep the ball in play. Needs a little bit of support. Debayo. Low cross. Cleared away by Norwich City. Back into the possession of Southampton. Mugabe goes back home to Will Britt, who, as I mentioned, did spend a spell on loan and won the FA Youth Cup with Norwich City a couple of years ago. You'll know many of the players out on the pitch tonight, I would imagine. Recently had a loan spell at Maidenhead in the Conference South, or Blue Square South, or Vanarama South, or whatever it's called these days. Dominic Gape picks it up on the defensive edge of the centre circle, and that's a pretty good ball out to Josh Debayo. Running towards the corner flag, Debayo just needs a little bit of support. Can he win anything? He'll win the throw-in.
I think the key tonight could be how advanced we can get the fullbacks with Josh Debayo and Jake Flanagan. If they can get forward and cause some problems and provide the width getting crosses in, I think that could be a real good sign for us. So he'd be looking to push on as much as he can, and as well as Jake on the other side.
Gape launches the ball high, deflected, and cleared away for Norwich City. Up to the 9 actually Seal. Norman works it out to Affetti for Norwich City. Back heel down the line. Here's the run from Sam Kelly. Kelly comes infield. Might fancy the shot. In the end, Mugabe did well to just block that option. Sinclair knocks it back to Josh DeBayo. We do have to have a winner in this competition tonight, so extra time and penalties are a possibility should they be required. That's a good ball over the top. Sims is onside, but the goalkeeper read it well. Not the most convincing clearance by the goalkeeper, but he got away with it. And that's where Josh Sims can be lethal, because he's got the pace to get in behind a defence.
Yeah, certainly, especially when he comes inside on the shoulder of the fullback there, and it was a well seen pass by Seeger, but I think he'd be a little bit disappointed not to slip him in. It was good timing from the run though from Josh Sims, and he'd be looking to do that often, I think, and push their fullbacks back as far as they can go.
Seeger played the pass. It's the sort of ball that he'd want to be on the end of, the number 9 prolific, and he's scored numerous goals this season. I think I'm right in saying it's 9 goals for the season for the under-21s. Had a little bit of an injury spell last season in Ryan Seeger and couldn't really get into his stride in the under-21s, but he's making up for lost time this season. That's a good ball through the legs. The striker kind of went down pretty easily, realised he wasn't going to get on the end of that ball, and then just clashed into Armani Little, and it's a free kick to Norwich. She's going to be taken on this near side by the number 10 Raymond Grant for Norwich. Just played over 10 minutes here at St Mary's. It's still 0-0 in the Barclays Under-21 Premier League Cup. A home tie with Watford on offer for the winners. Raymond Grant's free kick towards the back post, well headed away by Sam McQueen. Can't prevent the throw in though.
I think a very important header there from Sam at the far post. There was another player outside him, so he really needed to get his head on that. And I think they look to be a bit dangerous from set pieces, Norwich. They've got a few tall players. The two centre halves are quite tall and look to attack the ball. So I think we'll have to make sure that we're nice and organised and alert from the set plays, any wide free kicks or corners that they tend to get Norwich.
And meanwhile, whilst Norwich are quite tall, we're probably not the tallest team. When we've got a lot of young sort of good footballers, but when it comes to the height, we're perhaps a little bit short. But that's when you need Sam McQueen to step up and use his presence to win the ball in the box.
Definitely, I think there are a lot of young players as well, and you look at some of the under-18 players. They're not the tallest, but hopefully what we can make up for in a lack of height, we can make up for in skill. And keep the ball and get it down on the floor and keep it out of the air, and hopefully then they can't use the height advantage.
What we do have now is a throw-in over on the far side, which Jake Flanagan is going to take. This is his 11th appearance of the season for Jake Flanagan. Looking for Josh Sims. It will fall for Sam McQueen. Seeger tries to pick up the ricochet. Here's Hall Johnson for Norwich. Ball down the line. That's a good ball down to Lewis Ramsey. DeBayo, try and shield it out of play. Doesn't quite manage it, but Mugabe does the sensible thing and just plays it out for a throw into Norwich. Bevis Mugabe, who had a long injury setback and is just coming back into the fray now. Delighted for him to get a goal on Monday night and sort of mark his return to action. I think I'm right in saying this is his 5th appearance of the season, having spent 9 months out injured for Bevis.
Yeah, it was a very, very tough time for him, obviously, and such a great lad who worked ever so hard to get back. And listen, credit to the medical department and everyone that worked with him, because he's come back and he's done really well. It's taken him a few games to get back into it, obviously, but he's one who's really enjoying his football again now that he's back on the training pitch and playing games regularly.
It's difficult for a player of that age to suffer such an injury spell. We've seen it a few times with young players, and I think Sam McQueen, who's down on the pitch tonight, certainly spent a long time out injured, but it's important that they sort of keep their confidence up and don't get too downhearted.
It can definitely be a lonely place, I think, when you're in the treatment room and you're not regularly playing and looking forward to those matches each week, and something that young players though do need to learn. I mean, because unfortunately it can happen to players at the highest level, and 1 minute you're playing every week and then the next minute you're unfortunately not. So yeah, credit to Bevis, he's back, and it's great to see him do that.
Just a second ago there was a fantastic ball from Dominic Gape, switching play from left to right, but unfortunately Norwich have the ball back midway inside their own half. We've played 13.5 minutes here at St Mary's, goalless. That's an offside flag up against Lewis Ramsey, who despite wearing number 4 seems to be playing as one of the attackers tonight, so that's thrown me a little bit. I had him down as a defensive midfielder, but apparently he's not.
I think the numbers for them have been very interesting tonight. as Dominic comes forward. And
here's Sam McQueen. McQueen lifts it forward, looking for Sims. Seeger can't get on the end of it. Bit of after you, and in the end nodded back to the goalkeeper. In the end, probably a good bit of defending to just nod it back to Matthews in the Norwich City goal tonight.
It does look like Raymond Grant there on the ball. He's playing more the holding role, even though he's wearing the number 10, and the 7 and the 8 are the two centre midfielders, with sort of the 4 and the player on the far side providing the width. But it's quite interesting, Norwich, because last time they were here they changed formations quite regularly and ended up sort of going to a diamond late on in the game. So it'll be very interesting to see how the structure of their team pans out for the game.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, number 7, who's Cameron Norman, is on the ball, and he plays it into number 3, who's Nicky Affetti. This is the aforementioned number 10, Raymond Grant. On the ball now, skipping away from Gape is McGrandles. Low shot and past Britt and past the post. How close was that? That was probably about an inch wide of the post, and Britt got a touch. It'll be a corner.
He tended to work it through a little bit too easy. There was a few bigger gaps in the defence, but yeah, good save from Will. Thought that was in the corner. It looked like he left his far post open a little bit, but just to get a nice hand on it, tip it around the corner, he did well.
Yeah, just watching that back, a good save by Britt. A good ball down the inside right channel. And Norwich City will have a corner. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger towards the near post, headed away well by Josh DeBayo. On the volley, shot comes in, cleared away by Sam McQueen. Josh Sims might just get on the end of this, you know. Sims busting a gut to get down the right-hand side. Sims has got past the right back, needs a little bit of support. McQueen goes on his outside, and the defender read it well. It was a good run from Sam McQueen, and Sims probably did the right thing in trying to make the pass. It just, the defender read it. And now Norwich will come back on the attack with Reece Hall-Johnson. Cameron Norman. Norwich just trying to work an opening. Saints have all 11 players behind the ball. Ball lifted forward and all the way through to Will Britt, making his first start of the season. Of course, he did play about 88 minutes on Monday night after that Cody Cropper injury, but this is his first start for the under-21s. Here's Josh DeBayo, making his 9th appearance tonight, which means that he's now made more appearances for the under-21s than he has for the under-18s this season. Into Josh Sims. Back to Dominic Gape, tries to feed it down the line. Sims has come out the other side with the ball. Good skill from Sims. Referee doesn't think that's a foul. Come back to that one in a moment, as Norwich look to break away in this under-21s Premier League Cup match. Is Hall-Johnson. Ball given away by Norwich, and Armani Little plays it into Sam McQueen. Good first touch. Sims is the target, but the ball wasn't quite right, and it will go back to the Norwich goalkeeper.
Great position from Armani Little there, just sitting in front of the back four. Good position to intercept and start an attack, and that's what he's been doing really well this season for the 18s. He's captained them for a lot of games and just breaks up play well. Clever player, and hopefully can do more of that tonight, definitely.
Yeah, we talk about Armani Little. This is only his 4th start for the under-21s, but he certainly played more football, I understand, than any other player this season. If you combine his 18s and 21s appearances, he's made 22 appearances overall. Cameron Norman just runs into traffic, so has to go back to Adol Gafati, and now number 11 Sam Kelly for Norwich. Bit of a hospital ball, which Mugabe picks up under relatively no pressure. Now Dominic Gape just muscled off the ball. A soft free kick to give away, but Southampton will take that.
I think that's 3 times in a row we've as a team just dropped off a little bit, let Norwich have it in their half, haven't really caused us any problems, and just waited to pick them off with a pass. Good organisation from the back forward, distances were good, and pleasing to see. I think it could be a tactic at times in the game if we can't get pressure on the ball early, so it's good to see a good shape at the back there.
McQueen's going to take this free kick for Southampton, lofted towards the penalty spot, headed away by Gafati, and now Norwich will try to break away in the form of the number 4, Lewis Ramsey. Good reading of the play by Jake Flanagan. The ball back into Norwich possession and all the way back to their goalkeeper, Remy Matthews. Yes, this is the time where Norwich are just trying to unlock the Southampton defence, but to be fair, Southampton are holding their ground pretty well, not allowing those runners through. I say that Hall Johnson just manages to wander past the midfield. Ollie Cook comes to meet him. Over on the left-hand side, the ball lofted in, offside flag goes up, but Will Britt will just catch that one fairly comfortably. Curse of the commentator.
I think we do need to be careful there that we're not dropping off too deep and allowing them too much time and space, and obviously leaving the gaps important if we do sit off and wait for the counter attack, that we're not able to let them run straight through the middle like we just did then.
First chance for Jake Flanagan to really get into an attacking position. Dominic Gape striding across the pitch and comes over to Josh DeBayo. The run down the line is from Sam McQueen. Got Saints' goal against Ipswich in the last round. He's provided the cross all the way to Sims. It probably shouldn't have reached him. Sims onto his right foot, and the ball just doesn't fall for Seeger as it deflects off the defender Michael Effetti and out for a Southampton throw.
It was a great run from Sam McQueen down the side, and Josh DeBayo found him well. Just looking for a little bit more quality in the box from Josh Sims in there to shoot a bit quicker.
Gape works the ball out to Josh Sims. Can they work something from the other side of the pitch? Flanagan. High ball in. Not a bad one either. And the goalkeeper comes and claims it. Southampton under-21s currently sit top of the league, so this cup competition is something of a sideshow as far as they're concerned. Obviously they want to do well in it, but the league is currently where they're seeing a lot of success. 10 matches gone, 18 points, ahead of the likes of Spurs, Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea. They're sitting top of the pile at the moment. The next three fixtures see them play West Ham on Monday the 26th, Chelsea on Monday the 2nd of Feb, and then Everton on Monday the 9th of Feb. So regular fixtures coming up, and I suppose that whilst your under-18s do tend to play every Saturday, for the under-21s their matches sometimes sort of, they play a couple and then they'll have a week off. I'll just break off as the ball comes over to Sinclair. Ball across the box, and it's going to be 1-0. No offside flag against Ryan Seeger. Jake Sinclair did the unselfish thing of playing it across, and Seeger just taps it in. It's his first ever goal at St Mary's, and Southampton lead Norwich by 1-0.
What a pass from Jake Sinclair, I think, for the vision, the weight of pass as well, just to roll it right in the path, and to who else really? Ryan Seeger, who just seems to pop up at the right place at the right time and to put the ball home. But yeah, really well worked goal from Southampton, and pleased for Jake Sinclair to have that sort of impact on the game.
I think that's his 10th goal of the season. I mean, like I said earlier in the commentary, he's been doing the business for the under-21s, having had a little bit of an injury spell last season, but he seems to be on fire this season.
He is. I mean, he is a natural goal scorer, Ryan. Someone who gets in the right areas. His movement's fantastic in the box, and there's no one better that you'd rather the ball to fall to in that sort of situation than Ryan, and he deserves all he gets. He's a good lad, works really hard, and great to have around the training ground. So really pleased for him that he's hit that goal scoring streak this year.
It's his 4th goal in 4 games for the under-21s. Scored 2 against Leicester in a 3-3 draw. Also scored the winner, a last-minute winner against Manchester United at Staplewood. Here come Norwich looking for an instant reply over on that left-hand side with the left-back Effetti. Well dealt with by Jake Flanagan, and he should win the throw, and does, on that far side of the pitch. Well, that's what we wanted, and early on in the game, midway through the first half, and Southampton lead 1-0.
Yeah, like we said, a very good build-up play and really unselfish play from Jake Sinclair. I thought he might have driven into the box with the space he had in front of him, but no, he found Seeger in the middle and spotted him, and it was good that we dragged a few of the centre halves out of position to leave the space for Seeger to get the shot off and score. So yeah, really good start, and hopefully we can kick on from there and get a bit more of the ball, I think, as well.
I think that's right, because Norwich actually have probably, I haven't got the stats, but they've probably seen more of the ball than Saints have in this opening 23 minutes. Raymond Grant picks it up for Norwich. Ball lofted forward. Ramsey. up against Josh DeBayo. That's good defending by the 18-year-old. And DeBayo just plays it off the Norwich player and out for a throw and down by the corner flag. Southampton have got options on the bench tonight. I will run you through their team in just a moment, but the options on the bench are Niall Mason, Harley Willard, Marcus Barnes, the under-18s top scorer, and Callum Slattery as Norwich win a throw-in. Chris Johns is the substitute goalkeeper, should he be required. Good clearance away by Josh DeBayo. Seago tries to muscle off the Norwich defender, and Southampton have a free kick on the edge of their own box. So that will give me a chance to just run you through the two teams in case you're joining us late. Will Britt's in goal for Southampton. The back four is Flanagan, Cook, Mugabe and DeBayo. You've then got Dominic Gape, Armani Little and Sam McQueen playing in midfield, with Jake Sinclair and Josh Sims flanking the goal scorer Ryan Seager up front. For Norwich, they are in no particular order: Remy Matthews, Reece Hall-Johnson, Makia Fetty, Lewis Ramsey, Kyle McFadden, Adil Ghaffati, Cameron Norman, Conor McGrandles, Benny Ashley Seal, Sam Kelly. Here's Ollie Cook. Flanagan comes in field and then knocks it on to Armani Little. Bevis Mugabe. Pass aimed for DeBayo. Young left back wins a throw-in off the defender, and that'll be taken by Jake Sinclair, as we say, returning from his loan spell at Hibernian. Tries a little flick there to set Dominic Gape away, doesn't quite come off, but Sinclair wins it back, threads it through looking for Dominic Gape, couldn't quite take it in his stride. And Ollie Cook with a little bit of defending to do, and does the simple thing of going back to goalkeeper Will Britt. Here's Mugabe. Flicked on by Flanagan, couldn't quite find Josh Sims. And with 26 minutes on the clock, it is Southampton 1, Norwich City 0 here at St Mary's. Of course, the first team away at Newcastle this weekend, back here in the FA Cup a week on Saturday. Here's Ryan Seager, threads it through, Sinclair's the target, doesn't quite find him. In fact, there's an offside flag up over on that far side, and again, Saints trying to be intricate around the box and nearly paying off.
I think if we can get the front three and for us on the ball, facing their back four, driving at them, we can cause them some real problems. Which is unfortunate. Jake was offside because I think Josh Sims was possibly in on the other side if he'd held his run a little bit more. But we do look dangerous on the counter attack when we regain possession in and around that middle third for sure.
Josh Sims, who's one of those players who's split his time reasonably evenly between the 18s and the 21s this season. Good for the young players who's also had international experience. Josh Sims away with England under-17s, tanning himself in the Algarve, I believe, over the summer, or back in March of last year. So certainly good for the young players of the club to be recognised by England and to get the chance to shine on that international level. Bit of defending for Jake Flanagan to do. Nods it back, and considering there was a bit of height difference there between Flanagan and their left winger Sam Kelly, Flanagan did well.
It was a great header back from him with a really high ball and put under a lot of pressure, but good communication from the keeper Will Britt, and nodded it and saved a potentially dangerous situation into quite a relatively calm one. But no, it is good that the players are recognised internationally. We always try.
Well, that's not a bad ball. Seager might just get on the end of that. Defenders made a little bit of a Horlicks of it, and Seager's going to keep it in by the corner flag. Sims is the option. Back to Seager. Dominic Gape slides it in. Nice touch from Sinclair. Didn't quite find McQueen, but it's going to come out to Josh DeBayo. How's his cross? In towards the near post. Left by Seager. Claimed a handball. He's going to come back out to Dom Gape. Opts against the shot. Nice intricate play, and Gape is fouled. And Southampton are going to have a free kick in a good shooting position. Well, that was good football all round, and nice touches around the box. And in the end, the free kick won by Gape.
Very much so, and that lovely touch from Jake Sinclair again, just to take out a couple of defenders in and around the box, and hopefully we can make something of this free kick.
Well, Bevis Mugabe's trotting up from the back, but I fancy that this is probably going to be a shot. It looks like Sam McQueen is spotting the ball down. Scored the only goal of the game as Saints progressed past Ipswich Town in the last round of the competition. He's certainly striding back with some purpose. Sam McQueen is over this. Dom Gape is also the right-footed option. But this is going to be McQueen straight into the wall. Saints will keep the pressure on. Debayo's pass is intercepted. He does well though to just hold Norwich up in their own half. Bit of a disappointment not to make more of that free kick opportunity.
He's probably just a little bit too far out for Sam to try and get a shot on target and get a little bit closer, but he's on the break here.
He might have another chance. Sam McQueen into the box, hits the shot, and this time it's saved at the near post by Matthews. Good shot and good save.
Certainly so far, when we said before, is when we regain the ball in that middle third, do look very dangerous on the break, getting good numbers forward. And I fancy us to hopefully get another goal, hopefully before half-time, if we can keep doing that.
As the wind picks up around St Mary's, Will Britt just comes out of his area and clears into this Kingsland stand below us.
Good decision there from Will Britt. It was right on the border of does he pick it up or did he need to clear it, and no nonsense, cleared it out and went safety first, so really good decision from him.
Debayo with some defending to do against Ramsey. Mugabe comes across to cover. Seeger holds the ball up. There's a run being made by Sims. I think Gape probably had a little bit more time than he realised there. Tried to flick the header on back to Seeger. Gape puts the goalkeeper under some pressure. Mugabe wins the header. The free kick has gone Norwich City's way there. Josh Debayo adjudged to have fouled Lewis Ramsey. Norwich get on with it. Well, they wanted to. The ball hit the referee, and now Hall Johnson will take the free kick for a second time.
Just got a little bit too tight to his attacker there, Josh Debayo. Wasn't able to see the ball and got caught in a little situation, but probably a good foul in a way.
Ball over the top. It's going to run all the way through to Will Britt. It's worth noting that the wind is pretty blustery pitch side. It's not too bad up here at the back of the stand actually, but certainly when I was walking around pitch side earlier, it was causing a little bit of a nuisance, and that will probably affect some of the play, but at the moment Southampton are benefiting. They lead 1-0. Ryan Seeger's goal separating the two sides in this under-21 Premier League Cup match. Ball aiming for Josh Sims, but it's just going to go out for a Norwich City throw over on that far side. Norwich, well, they got here by courtesy of a 4-2 win over Fulham, although none of their goal scorers on that evening are playing tonight. Cameron King, Josh Murphy and Carlton Morris all got on the score sheet for Norwich, but none of them featuring this evening.
I think Norwich have recently sent a fair few players out on loan. Oh, here we
Norwich come forward in the shape of Ashley Seal, still with the ball at his feet.
Great interception.
And that's a good play by Ollie Cook. Seal still with the ball, being muscled off of it by a few players, finds its way back to Affetti. Now over to that left-hand side with Sam Kelly. Kelly provides the cross. Mugabe leaves it for Debayo and cleared away by Southampton. Over to this near side. Sinclair will just go back to Will Britt.
Really important interception there from Ollie Cook with runners driving in behind the back four, and he needed to be in the right place there, Ollie, and he did well to intercept, read the game importantly well.
Just his second start for the under-21s. That's a header, and well, Sims was lurking, wasn't he? You just wondered whether Sims might get on the end of that. But in the end, the goalkeeper did well and just knocks it out for a Southampton throw-in midway inside the Norwich City half. 12 minutes until the break here in this under-21 Premier League Cup tie. Here's Armani Little. Good footwork from Saints number 8. Offloads to Flanagan. Now Dominic Gape. 20-year-old lofts the ball into the Norwich penalty area. Bit of pinball there between Sims and Affetti. It might fall to McQueen. Tried his luck. A free kick given against Armani Little in the centre of the park. We talk about Norwich. They appointed Alex Neil as first team manager earlier this month, and I'm sure that some of their under-21s players will be thinking, well, with a new manager in charge, now's my chance to kind of push on and see what I can do and see if I can give him food for thought.
Of course, I think it was an interesting appointment from Norwich and giving a young coach an opportunity at that level, and they had a great result, I think, in the first game. Ended up getting an away win at Bournemouth, so it'll be interesting to see how their season goes.
Yep, Gary Hooper getting on the score sheet in that match. He actually played in the under-21s match here earlier in the season. A win for Norwich 2-1 away at Dean Court last Saturday. Here's the Norwich number 8 McGrandles now into Norman, and Norman comes over to this near side to Paul Johnson, the Norwich skipper. Good run made by Cameron Norman. Cross comes in behind everyone, well defended by Gape, and if McQueen looks up, he's got Sims over on the right hand side. Sims will suddenly get his boots into gear. He's beaten one player. Can he get past a second? Tried to play the ball into the box. He has won a corner.
Good run from Josh Sims. Just got in front of the defender there, narrowed off, and so he either fouled him or he was through, but just a little bit more quality in the final third from him. I think he's got into some good positions so far, but would be definitely wanting to make that final pass or final cross and into something more that might create another chance.
And if you're a centre-back and you've got Josh Sims running at you, that's not a position that you really want to be in. With the pace he's got and the kind of low centre of gravity, he can move one way and the other. Is the corner which Sam McQueen is going to take. It's a chance for Ollie Cook and Bevis Mugabe to come up from the back. It's in towards Ollie Cook. The goalkeeper comes and flaps a bit. No free kick given, but Norwich will bring the ball away. Fetty running down the right hand side. We've got two players down. One of them is Jake Sinclair and the other one is the goalkeeper Remy Matthews. It was one of those balls into the box where you kind of expected a free kick to be given to the goalkeeper because he kind of came through a cluster of players and ended up picking up a little bit of a knock.
Fantastic ball in from Sam McQueen though, hard and in that area of the near post, and does certainly cause that in-swinging corner some problems.
Yeah, he's got in and involved in the first team a little bit last season. Sam McQueen made an appearance in the FA Cup up at Sunderland, and has been on the bench earlier in the season, I think in the Everton game last month when Southampton named about 5 academy graduates on the subs bench for that Premier League game, which Saints won 3-0. Sinclair looks like he's going to be all right. He's been bright so far, Jake Sinclair, back from his loan spell at Hibs only a few days ago, and with 37 minutes on the clock, he's looked quite bright.
He has, yeah, he's caused a problem down this left-hand side, but also been impressed with his work rate actually. When he's lost the ball or there's an opportunity to press the full-back and win it back, he's done that well, which has been pleasing. So we'll see how long he lasts for. I'm not sure how much game time he's had recently and how fit he is, but he's certainly been lively so far.
He is just walking back. I think he's going to be all right to continue. There are options on the bench tonight for Southampton. Niall Mason, who can play at right back or centre midfield, really, a versatile player. You've then got Harley Willard, more of a midfielder, Marcus Barnes, the under-18s top scorer, and Callum Slattery. All options there for Martin Hunter, should he need them.
Obviously a very young bench, all being under-18s players, and they'd be really looking forward to getting their opportunity, hopefully tonight, without an injury, obviously, but if they get their chance, I'm sure they'll be ready to come on and impress.
Of course, the under-18s have their big match next Wednesday night against Everton in the FA Youth Cup. There is a under-18s league match to concentrate on between now and then. We'll touch on that in just a minute as Norwich come forward again. It's through the left back of Fetty, worked out to the left-hand side. Ball played down the line with Armani Little with some defending to do down by the corner flag. He does it really well. And cleared up towards Ryan Seeger. And, Southampton quick to put the Norwich defence under a little bit of pressure. Over to the near side it comes. And it's paid dividends because because Sinclair won the ball, but here come Norwich again. Ball played in over the top of everybody, and it is not going to go out because I think he's going to keep it in over on that far side. And Flanagan concedes the throw in. Yeah, as I was saying, your under-18s match next Wednesday night, but I'm sure you'll be keeping the lads focused on the game this Saturday against West Ham.
Of course, I mean everybody's looking forward to the game on Wednesday night. I think the players have always got one eye on that game, but yeah, you're right, we do have a game on Saturday against West Ham, which will be a tough one. I mean, we've played them twice and lost one in a tight game earlier on in the season, and then played them in the Youth Cup game here, which was a great game for us, but probably not for them. So they'll be looking to get a little bit of revenge in that game. But some of the players who are playing tonight might not feature on Saturday, and some who haven't played as much game time and played tonight will be ready for Wednesday. So it's quite good with the timings of the game so far for the game Wednesday, as well as the cup game tonight.
What's sort of different for that game? Do you travel up the day before and kind of give yourself the best preparation, stay in a hotel? I guess it's different from a normal league game.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's midweek for a start, and it's at night, and all the players love to play at night, so it's great. We can we'll train and travel up on the Tuesday, train in the morning at the training ground at Staplewood, and then travel up to Everton and arrive probably around 7 or 8 o'clock at night, stay in the hotel, train in the morning before the game, and then do our pre-match meal at the hotel, and then look forward to the game that night.
Something to look forward to next Wednesday night for Southampton's under-18s in the FA Youth Cup. Tonight it's all about the under-21s Premier League Cup. It's a match that Southampton are currently winning by 1-0. Ryan Seeger scoring that one opportunity, and it's probably fair to say that's been the best chance of the game, and we haven't seen an awful lot of attacking attempts so far or attacking options from either side. One good save from Will Brett. Josh Sims might pick this one up. He's got Seeger ahead of him if Seeger can hold his run. Sims still going, running through 3 players. Sims has got another option, but Sims still going. Sims into the penalty area, pulls it back. Oh, and he couldn't quite find the pass. Excellent run from Sims. It did look like he was running down a bit of a blind alley going towards that left-hand side, cut back onto his right foot and then couldn't quite pick out the pass.
I thought the defender there at one stage was going to bring him down as he cut back inside, and I thought he was going to go down, Josh, but he stayed on his feet and just trying to pick out that final pass and final ball that I'm sure Seagull will be waiting for in the box.
You don't like to say it, but was he perhaps a little bit too honest there, Josh Sims? Because the defender certainly left his foot in, and Sims had the chance to perhaps win a penalty.
You're right, he probably was, but we don't really want to say
No,
that.
no, I'll say it, you don't have to.
Thank you.
It's 1-0 to Southampton. We've got 4 minutes until half-time, and it was the defender Kyle McFadden who, in nearly bringing down Josh Sims, has managed to injure himself. I'm pleased to say that Jake Sinclair, who picked up a knock just a few moments ago, seems to be back on his feet and ready to go. It's a little bit of a conversation between the referee and the Norwich player on what they're going to do here. That goal was Ryan Seeger's 10th goal of the season. He's got a knack of scoring 2 goals in matches. He either tends to score none or 2, so there could be another one on the cards for him later on tonight, but we'll wait and see about that as the Norwich bench look like they're about to make a substitution. It's going to be Kyle McFadden who's going to come off, and he's one of the more senior players in the Norwich City team. He's got his hands on his back of his head as if to say that he's not very happy that this knock is forcing him off, but it is, and we're going to see the first substitution of the night. It's gone the way of the visitors.
First thought, I thought they were going to try and get him through till half-time, see him through and see if he could get through, and then probably assess him at half-time there, but yeah, it looks like they are going to make the sub, and probably a forced change for them. Be interesting to see who they bring on and in what position.
Well, meanwhile, play has resumed and Southampton have given the ball back to Norwich. It's hard to see from our angle what numbers on the back of that shirt over there. I'm trying to see who it is who's coming on as Josh DeBio wins the ball well. Here's McQueen. Can they make the numerical advantage count? Sims is ahead of McQueen. Sims does really well. He wants the free kick and he's got nothing there. Kicked the ball a little bit too far ahead of him, and that's perhaps why he didn't win that free kick, because he probably wasn't going to get on the end of the ball. We are now going to see that substitution. You heard the PA announcer there. Nathan Fox is the person who comes on. So we look to see where he's going to slot in. It was number 5, McFadden, who went off. As we said earlier, these shirt numbers don't seem to be making any sense, but it looks like McFadden has slotted in the centre of midfield, or Fox has slotted in the centre of midfield. And Southampton have a free kick inside their own half. Sinclair looks to get on the end of Dominic Gates' ball. Seeger's in the centre, DeBayo's on the overlap, in towards the near post, cleared away well by Affetti over to this near side. Here's Dom Gape. Gape slides it through, it didn't quite fall for Sinclair, and he kind of held his head back as if to say he knew it was that close, but he couldn't quite get a touch on it. Saints keep the pressure on with DeBayo. Back to Bevis Mugabe. And all the way back to Will Britt. We've got 40 seconds of the first 45 to go. What would Martin Hunter be saying in the dressing room at half time? Because Southampton have got that goal, and I guess it's just a don't do anything stupid and see if you can go on and get a second.
Yeah, I think at half-time he'd be saying he want a bit more controlled possession. I think we need to probably get on the ball a bit more and keep it in certain areas of the pitch, but carry on if we do regain the ball, breaking quickly, because it's certainly been a threat for us so far. I think he'd be probably having a chat with the wide players, especially Josh Sims, saying a little bit more quality in that final third to try and create the chances, because I think if we can do that, we've got the players who can definitely put them away. But you're right, stay solid, and I know it's a bit of a cliche, but if you do keep a clean sheet, if in second half you win the match. So
3 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. Can Southampton add to that lead before the half-time break? McQueen picks it up. Over to Josh DeBayo, always keen to get forward from left back. Josh DeBayo just lost out the possession there, but that's a bit of a hospital pass which Sinclair nearly picks up on. Dominic Gape goes in. Armani Little caught late, and it's going to be a yellow card. First yellow card of the evening for Norwich, and it's gone the way of Raymond Grant.
And deservedly so. It looked like there it wasn't the best challenge, and lucky it didn't catch Little in the middle, because it could have been a nasty one.
Gape flicks the ball out. Sinclair's got a little bit of time. Threads it down the line, good pass to Sam McQueen. The ball comes off of the defender and out for a Southampton corner. Late pressure from Southampton and stoppage time at the end of the first half.
Great reverse pass from Jake Sinclair again. Looked like he was going to shape up to cross it. The defence all dropped off, anticipating to be heading it clear, and just played it down the line for a clever run from Sam McQueen. Good play from Jake Sinclair again.
Yeah, I'm more used to seeing Jake Sinclair in the centre, but playing out on the wing, he's done well this evening. And Dom Gape will now have the corner towards the far post. This time the referee has given a free kick. I've got to say, I didn't really see what that one was for, but it's going to be a free kick to Norwich inside their own 6-yard box. Closing stages of this first half. Mugabe concedes the throw. Southampton just running the clock down to the half-time whistle. And as Anthony says, it's a half that Martin Hunter will probably be quite pleased with. Ollie Cook launches it forward. Picked up by Armani Little. Sims is the run outside of him if he wants him. Instead he threads it through the middle, looking for the run of Seeger. And a good idea from Armani Little, but not quite the right execution. That is half-time. And Anthony, final thoughts on the first half. 1-0 lead, you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I think after early pressure from Norwich and maybe a little bit of controlled possession from them, I think we grew into the game as we went, but we'd probably say at half-time, and I think Martin and Raddy would be saying that we still haven't really got going in the game yet and haven't played as much football as what we possibly could, even though coming in at 1-0 you'd be pleased with, and to keep a clean sheet until half-time. I think we've definitely got another gear to go, and hopefully can kick on in the second half and start controlling the game a bit more.
Well, we'll be back with the second half in around about 15 minutes time here at St Mary's. It's Southampton 1, Norwich 0. Well, we've got the two teams back here at St Mary's. We haven't got a referee yet, but we'll deal with that in just a second. But let me just run you through the two teams. As Southampton lead here 1-0 in the Under-21s Premier League Cup. And that goal from Ryan Seeger midway through the first half, currently separating the sides. Southampton line up as follows. Will Britt's in goal. It's his first start of the season after Cody Cropper's injury on Monday night forced him out of the game. Jake Flanagan's at right back. Josh DeBio's at left back. Then it's Ollie Cook and Bevis Mugabe, the two centre halves. Dominic Gape, Armani Little and Sam McQueen at the midfield. And Jake Sinclair, who's playing his first game back after a loan spell at Hibs, is up front alongside Ryan Seeger and Josh Sims. Sims and Sinclair flanking Seeger. And there aren't any changes in this second half. The referee just checks with both of his assistants and goalkeepers. And Southampton will kick off the second half. Sam McQueen, who, as I mentioned before, scored the only goal of the game against Ipswich in the last round of the competition. Of course, Southampton winning against Ipswich last night in the FA Cup. A good chance early on for Josh DeBio to get forward. The cross in has gone over everyone, over the goal, and out for a goal kick. No changes at half-time for either side. Of course, Norwich were forced into a change just at the end of the first period with Nathan Fox coming on in place of Kyle McFadden. And Norwich City, who are well known for their youth setup as well. They won the FA Youth Cup a couple of years ago, beating Chelsea. Will Britt, the Southampton goalkeeper, was in goal for, I think, all of that FA Youth Cup run. Here's Sinclair. Launches the ball across the pitch. Can Josh Sims get on the end of it? Indeed he can. Needs a little bit of support. Or will he try and go it alone? It does find its way out to Armani Little. Back to Josh Sims. Sims still going with the ball at his feet. Now to Sinclair. Dom Gape. Josh Sims has popped up in the hole this time, skips away from a challenge, hits a shot, it might fall into Seeger and it's just gone wide. I wondered if there was an offside flag up there. There wasn't, and that would have counted. Seeger with a great chance at the start of the second half.
He did look like he was in an offside position, didn't he, there? I think with the miss-hit shot that went across the box, the two Southampton players, Sam McQueen and Ryan Seeger, were following in, and really expect him to do a little bit better there from that opening and opportunity early on in the game. But we started nice and positive with Josh getting down the left-hand side and started on the front foot, which is a good sign for us early on.
That's the voice of Southampton's under-18s coach Anthony Limbrick, who joins me up in the commentary position this evening for this match that Southampton currently lead by 1-0. 47 minutes on the clock, and the ball's out for a throw-in. The linesman can't decide which way he's going to give it, and then gives it Southampton's way. Good decision. I'm not quite sure, he's a bit too far away to see that one. But Josh DeBio is going to have the throw-in in front of the Norwich dugout. The winners of this tie will have a home match with Watford. Now, what's happened here? Has he reversed the linesman's decision, so the ball is now gone into Norwich possession? Not quite sure what's going on. Either way, Norwich have ended up with the ball and the throw over on that far side of the field. Norman wins another throw-in. Hall Johnson, the Norwich skipper, plays the ball in. And Ollie Cook, simple, no nonsense, just clears it out for a Norwich corner.
He is great at defending in the area from those crosses, Ollie. He guards that near post area well and needed to clear that one and be in the right place for that time. And hopefully we can be solid and defend well from this, which is a difficult area sometimes to defend with the wind, like you said before, blowing sort of all over the pitch really. And hopefully we can defend this well as the ball comes in.
And volleyed out for a goal kick, and a little bit of sigh of relief there, because had he made proper contact with that, that could have troubled Will Britt. But it didn't, and it's going to be a Southampton goal kick. Ollie Cook, who's played every match for Southampton under-18s this season. This is his second start for the under-21s. And just look at the corner flag over on the far side. You can see the flag just sort of waving around a little bit in the wind. Just as I say that, it stops, but I can assure you that it is blowing a bit of a gale here at St Mary's. Sam McQueen flicks it on. Here's Ryan Seeger. Sinclair. De Bayo busting a gut to get outside him. Good flick on. Now here's Seeger. Tried to work it into Sims. Saints pick the ball up with Armani Little, the under-18s captain. Knocks it into Jake Flanagan. Chance for him to advance forward. Tried to flick it out to Sims, but that didn't work. And now coming back in the opposite direction, Sam Kelly plays it down the line. Here's Benny Ashley Seal. That's the name of the Norwich number 9. Hell of a name that is. And it's back with Lewis Ramsey for Norwich City. Ball played over. Kept in by the right back Hall Johnson. Sinclair battling away. And he'll win a free kick.
Great work from those two there, Josh DeBoer and Jake Sinclair. And as I said before, in the first half, he really has worked hard, Jake Sinclair, to win the ball back on that far side. And a lovely pass for him earlier on to split the defence before, and he needs to keep doing that.
That wasn't such a good pass from Dominic Gape. Armani Little gets a foot in and stops Sam Kelly from proceeding into the Southampton half. Now in the centre circle, it's the substitute Nathan Fox. Whips it over to that right-hand side. Now Josh DeBayo has some defending to do up against Cameron Norman. And Dom Gape comes over and wins the ball, doesn't concede the throw in. Not such a good ball this time from Jake Sinclair. Fox goes over to the right-hand side. Cross is closed down by Josh DeBayo. And out for a Norwich throw in front of the couple of hundred or so, I'd say, Southampton fans who have made the trip to St Mary's this evening to cheer on the under-21s. Ball crossed in towards the back post. Flanagan needs to deal with it, and he does at the second attempt. He manages to get a foot in, and the ball goes out for a Norwich City corner. Good defending by Jake Flanagan, who can play it either right back or centre midfield. Popped up in both positions so far this season. Tonight he's playing at right back. Corner drilled in towards the edge of the box. Flicked on, and Will Pritt will collect those, no problems for him.
Remember in the last game we played against Norwich, they were looking for that corner just on the edge of the box, with everybody runs in and takes the attention of the defenders away, and trying to find someone on the edge of the box to get a shot in, something that we may need to be aware about in the second half, but luckily we got out and shut down the shot well.
Britt's clearance goes over Josh Sims. As we mentioned, Josh Sims won the European Under-17s Championship with England last summer. He appeared 19 times overall this season for the 21s and 18s. Getting a lot of football under his belt. DeBayo just muscled off the ball by Cameron Norman, and then free kick is conceded, taken early down the line to Reece Hall Johnson. Bevis Mugabe comes in. Mugabe already on a yellow card, just needs to be a little bit careful. Norwich man has stayed down.
It was a bit of a needless foul from Bevis. I think that with the player going away from goal, and just needed to hold him up and force him wide and let the defenders get back in a position, and now we've got to defend another set play. Yeah,
I just wondered whether the referee was going to have a word with Bevis Mugabe. He's decided not to. Of course, already on a yellow card since the 4th minute. There aren't really any defensive options on the bench, you'd say, certainly at the centre-back position. Mason, Willard, Barnes and Slattery, all perhaps more attacking option. Mason would be the most defensive of the lot. That was a comfortable header for Josh DeBayo.
I think Niall Mason has played at centre-back before. He can slot in there, and he's a bit versatile, like we said before. So I think if there was any change needed to be made at centre-back, he would probably be the one who could slot in there and do a job for the team.
Dom Gape plays the ball forward, looking for Seeger to hold it up. Good hold-up play from Ryan Seeger. It's the sort of thing we've been used to seeing from Graziano Pella. Unfortunately, Southampton have given the ball away, but they have won a free kick. And it's going to be the second yellow card of the evening for a Norwich player. And this one's going to go to Sam Kelly, I think.
Great break there once again from Southampton. We've done it a fair few times so far, just being attacking, driving forward, getting good numbers, and just want to, that last pass just letting us down a little bit.
Sims couldn't control the ball, but he picked it up on the other side. Back to Jake Flanagan. Now here's Armani Little. Ollie Cook and Beres Mugabe, the two centre-halves for Southampton this evening. Not played too much football together, it's fair to say. This will be the first time that they've played alongside each other, but have been coping well so far. Flanagan. Down the line to Josh Sims. He has options in the penalty area. Sims chips it up towards the back post. The keeper comes, doesn't get there, and the free kick has gone Norwich's way because of a collision between Sinclair and the goalkeeper for the second time in the game. Both Sinclair and Matthews down on the turf. It's going to be a Norwich free kick.
It was a great spin from Josh Sims, just ran his full-back inside, opened up the line, and a good ball from Jake Flanagan. Thought he might have crossed it first time, Josh Sims, with his right foot, but cut back in on the left and put sort of a teasing ball into the box. And you'd probably rather someone else attacking that at the far post, but they have had a clash already, Jake Sinclair and the goalkeeper, so hopefully the goalkeeper will be all right, and looks like Jake is fine.
Well, for someone who's not that tall, Jake Sinclair certainly puts himself about a little bit, and I'd say the same for most of these young players actually. They don't really let their height disadvantage them in any way.
Well, I think if you don't have the height, you need to be quick, you need to be agile, and like you say, you need to be quick and put yourself about the pitch. I'm really been impressed with Jake Sinclair with that tonight. His work rate has been really, really good on the front foot, looking to win the ball back high up the pitch, and he's got his rewards with that, with the great assist from a good piece of play earlier on in the first half.
While we've got the opportunity, I must ask you about some of the players who we've perhaps been seeing in the first team, most recently Jason McCarthy and Jake Hesketh, who's one of those players who was sort of in the under-21 squad and then made his sort of senior mark against Manchester United in the Premier League, started the match up at Burnley, of course unfortunate to go off so early on in that game, but he's a player who must be relishing his chance to make an impact on the first team.
Well, it was very pleasing to see Jake progress into the first team so quickly, having sort of around under 15 and under 16 year. He was similar to one of these players, quite small, lacked a bit of physicality and athleticism, and we were patient with him, took our time, some good work from the other coaches that work with him, and it was great to see him getting his rewards now and being patient as a club for someone who possibly wasn't affecting the game as much.
Sam McQueen's ball in, Seeger can't get on the end of it. There's an offside flag up anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. Josh Sims went sliding in at the far post. The flag was already up.
Great cross.
It was, and Seeger just giving the linesman a bit of a mouthful. I don't think he thought he was offside, but then strikers never do they? And Norwich City will have the free kick. Jason McCarthy, of course, is the other one who came on and made a senior appearance up at Crystal Palace and has been on the bench quite regularly. A right back, cross centre back. He can play in either position really, and again looking to make a mark on the first team.
He's someone, Jason, who's just a great leader. As Dominic breaks forward
and plays the ball over to Josh Sims. This could be the chance for 2-0, and it's wide. Great opportunity for Josh Sims again.
Lovely pass from Dominic Gape, just perfect way to pass, right in front. He did everything he possibly could, Simsy, but he just needed to find the target with that finish, and for him to be a bit more effective in the game. He's getting into some fantastic positions, but that final end product from him, he really needs to improve.
Well, you said before the interval that Josh Sims, Martin Hunter would be telling Josh Sims to kind of get more involved in the second half. In the first 15 minutes, he certainly has been.
He has done. He's been causing that fullback problem. It's interesting now they've just made that switch. They've taken one of the players off and moved the. Is it the number 4?
I think it's Conor McGrandles.
Yeah, he was playing as the 4. The number 4 was playing as the fullback, and they've actually taken him off Josh Sims and moved him onto the right hand side. With the new fullback coming on, so it'll be interesting to see how he deals with the pace and quickness of Josh.
Well, how can he deal with it straight away? Because Seeger's holding the ball up. It's going to ricochet to Gape. Good first time ball. Tried to thread it through the inside left to Josh Sims. In the end, the ball just is brought away by Norwich City. Yes, it's Reece Awua who's come on for Norwich. Would you pronounce that Awua or Awu? How would we pronounce that, the number 14?
I might leave that one to you, I think.
We'll just call him Reece. We're on first name
They
terms.
have made sort of 3 or 4 changes in the back four so far, which would probably be a little bit unsettling for Norwich, I think.
Meanwhile, in the Southampton back four, it's Ollie Cook on the ball, striding forward. Now to Jake Flanagan. Good play by Flanagan, finds Armani Little. Josh Sims is once again the target for the pass. Little's going to keep this one in. Dominic Gape, striding forward, got his heels clipped there and the referee saw it and gives the free kick. And I remember watching under-18s football when Dominic Gape and Harrison Reed were the two midfielders, and of course Harry's gone on and he kind of kicked on, and no doubt Dom will be looking to get a little bit more taste of first team action. Of course he had a little bit last month, but sort of those two as a pair in the centre of the midfield for the under-18s were deadly. Yeah,
they were. I think they're sort of similar players in a way in terms of sort of their stature and the way they get about the pitch and try and regain possession, just like he's doing now really, and forced a mistake there. But I think that he's been one who's been quite unlucky with injuries as well. He started well with the pre-season and was with the first team, but then I think had a stress fracture in his foot which put him back a little bit. But another one, someone again who works really hard and has got a good attitude, and it's great to see him come back, and was very pleased when he made his debut and came off the bench at home in the game against Everton, yeah, that's right. So it was really pleasing to see him do that.
Norwich just trying to work the ball out on the far side. Josh DeBayo. Has he given away a throw or a free kick? I think he's given away a throw. The crowd saw something that we didn't then. Someone might have thrown their toys out of the pram. Here's Raymond Grant. Ball down the inside right. Mugabe's going to deal with it. Britt comes out and just claims it comfortably. Of course, I mentioned Harrison Reed. Reed's played the full 90 up at Ipswich Town last night. He's been seeing a lot more first team action lately, and he's one of these players again who has taken his opportunity when he gets it.
Yeah, he's had to be patient at the start of this season, I think, and always wanted to get that opportunity. Been doing well when he has been training with the first team and impressed, and the management there seem to like him a lot. And I think it is, like you said, a case of a few injuries and a couple of things that have fallen into place for him, and he definitely makes sure he takes his chance when he gets it. And I thought, although it was a tough game for the team last night, maybe a little bit scrappy, I thought he was one of the players who was quite solid in there and reliable and just kept possession well and helped out the team defensively, which is what you need in those cup ties away from home.
We'll talk about Matt Targett as well in just a second, but Southampton have a throw in line with the edge of the Norwich City penalty area, which Flanagan takes into Ryan Seeger. He has the goal that separates the two sides. Gape goes sliding in. Norwich have got a break on here if they work this correctly. It's the substitute Nathan Fox driving towards the edge of the box, tries to slide it through. Good defending by Josh DeBayo, came across, shields the ball out of play. You won't see better defending than that this evening.
And I think not just Josh DeBayo, but the whole back four there, no pressure on the balls. They dropped off, really narrow, compact, hard to play through. And you're right though, Josh did cover really well then and saw it out for a goal kick.
From DeBayo at left back to Matt Targett at left back, of course, he's probably seen the most out of the young players, certainly playing the whole match against Chelsea, albeit because Bertrand couldn't play against his parent club, but playing every Capital One Cup tie as well. I mean, the coaches at the club must be delighted with the progress that he's making.
He has, and someone who just goes about his business quiet, Matt. He gets on with it, real hard worker, but it's been great to see him progress. Someone who possibly
ball down defending. Ball down the line, looking for number 4. There's a Norwich player down there. I think he got caught late by Dom Gape. It's going to be a free kick to Norwich over on that far side of the field.
Just saying, someone there with Matt Targett, who's someone who's just progressed slowly and calmly through the system, and the higher up he's played, the better he seemed to have got. So it's been great to see and really interesting to see his progression come through, and just to be able to go into games like the Chelsea game and just settle in so well was a great testament to him and obviously the players around him and the work that the first team staff are doing with him.
Southampton with some defending to do here. The shot comes in, blocked by Ollie Cook. And Flanagan will bring it clear for Southampton. Here's Sims, who's been lively this evening, Sims. Composed defending by Ollie Cook. And Flanagan will just hoist it forward. Seeger's not going to win the header, but Dominic Gape will pick up the knockdown. And here comes Armani Little across halfway. Little has McQueen in the hole. McQueen striding towards the edge of the box, still with the ball at his feet. He's an option. He's got Sims outside of him. Josh Sims onto his right and his left foot. Still got the ball, Sims. There was probably a foul in there. In the end, Saints don't need it. McQueen hits the shot and tipped wide. Well, can't tell you the number of times that I've seen Sam McQueen do that, cutting off the right-hand flank and with his left foot hit a shot that the goalkeeper has tipped wide.
He does do it well, and you know he's going to come back in on the left foot, but you just can't stop him. He does it very quickly as well.
Corner's been taken, the goalkeeper goes up for it. There's an offside flag up on the far side, which the referee has spotted, and for the third time in this game, the goalkeeper is down in the 6-yard box with a little bit of a knock. Yeah, I think that Sam McQueen's goal in the last round came like that. He cut in off the right and hit it with his left. I've been seeing him do it for years. Even when he was an under-18s player, he'd cut in from that right flank, and he can work it with both feet, Sam McQueen.
And he's a player who can play any of those front four positions. I've seen him, like you said there, play on the wide right, cutting in under his left foot, but he can also play on the left. He's also played up front as a 9 who can hold it up and drop deep, but I think he likes playing in the position he's at the moment, which is a 10, so he can get a little bit of a free roll in possession and sort of wander into those type of positions out wide and be hard to mark and really cause the back four some problems.
We mentioned his own injury earlier, of course, spending 9 months out on the sidelines. He was probably part of that crop of players that came through with Ward-Prowse and Luke and Harry, and just because of that injury he didn't quite get the run of games that he wanted, but he's certainly making up for lost time at the moment because he's looked lively so far in the matches that we've seen of him this season.
He has, and he's one of those players who needs to play regularly.
That's not a good clearance from Will Britt. So Norwich pick it up, it deflects wide. Well, Saints let off the hook a little bit there. I'm not sure that was the right option from Norwich to shoot from that kind of distance because there were 2 players either side, but in the end they have, and they've won a corner out of it. Cameron Norman it was who had the shot for Norwich.
We need to make sure we maintain our concentration here, having a good period in the game and creating some chances ourselves where we probably should have scored. Just need to stay tight at the back and cut out those little mistakes, and I'm sure Will Britt will be conscious of that and make sure he clears the next one.
Approaching 67 minutes on the clock. The referee's just having a quick word in the penalty area. Here comes the corner. Heads go up. Cook needs to deal with it. With the outside of his right foot, just boots it out over onto that far side for a Norwich City throw. Here's Reece Hall-Johnson for Norwich. Dinks the ball in. Cook lets it run and clears it away out to this near side. Gafati with the high ball up. DeBayo's got to deal with it. He hasn't dealt with it. And it's going to fall into the penalty area to Norman. Back it comes to the edge of the box. This is Hall-Johnson. Gape gets a block in and it comes out to the left-hand side. That was handball against Jake Sinclair. And it's going to be a chance for the big men to come up again for Norwich and to get it into the box.
It could be a tactic moving forward from Norwich. Looking at a little bit of them and the research that the guys from the analyst department have done on them, they did play diags onto the fullbacks quite a bit. They haven't done it so much in the game so far. So I think moving forward it could be something that they might look to do, and Josh DeBayo needs to defend them a little bit better, be aware of those and go and attack the ball when it's in the air.
We're going to have the final substitution for Norwich. Martin Hunter still yet to show his hand and make any substitutions, but we've got a double-barreled switch because Benny Ashley Seal is coming off for Norwich and Lewis Byrne-Hewitt is coming on. And Lewis Byrne-Hewitt's going to get himself into the penalty area, ready for this free kick. Five Norwich players standing at the far post, but the free kick comes in towards the near post, so that's not going to trouble Southampton. And Will Britt bowls it out, looking for Armani Little. I think the Norwich player's going to get there, and he does. This is Awuah. Hall-Johnson from right back plays it down the line to Cameron Norman. Ball in to Mugabe. Nice composure, just chests it down and brings it away, and Seager trying to be a nuisance up front for Southampton, but Norwich retain the ball. Dinked ball down the line, finds the pink-booted Awuah up against Armani Little. Well cut out by Flanagan. And Seager just needs to kind of put a foot on this and help bring it away. McQueen will do that. Plays it across to Jake Sinclair with space ahead of him. And DeBayo on his left-hand side. Sinclair striding towards the edge of the box. Gets pushed in the back. That's a blatant foul. And it's going to be a free kick. And this one, whereas Sam McQueen's last free kick was possibly a little bit too far out, this one is in a decent shooting position.
He will be looking to get on this again, Sam McQueen, although there is Dominic Gape on the ball. So it probably favours the right footer on that side. It'll be interesting to see who takes this one.
Yeah,
I think both players will be looking to and probably arguing to see who will get the shot away and really want to be working the keeper now. It'd be great to get to get some type of save out of him and make sure we follow it in.
It is going to be Dominic Gape, hits the wall again, bounces around in there and cleared away up to halfway. The pressure will be kept on though because Flanagan's got the ball. Down the line to Josh Sims. He can get around the blind side of the Norwich winger. Plays it in towards Seago, who flicked a header on. I'm not sure if he actually got any contact on it, but the goalkeeper was just able to scramble it away at his near post corner.
Fantastic no-touch turn from Josh Sims. Just drew the full-back in, let it run across his body and got into another dangerous position again and probably a better cross from him. And I don't think he did touch it there, Ryan Seager, but caused the keeper a problem getting across him at the near post.
Footed in-swinger from Sam McQueen. The referee isn't happy about something in the 6-yard box. What have we got going on here?
I think after fouling the keeper so many times, he's going to be quite aware of that person that's on the keeper, so we're going to make sure we don't give away the foul and work something from this corner.
Two Southampton men around the penalty spot, Ollie Cook and Bevis Mugabe. The ball comes in towards the far post, and it was Sinclair, again having a little battle with the goalkeeper, and this time it's maybe just be a comfortable claim for Remy Matthews inside the Norwich goal. And Norwich will look to break away. That looked offside from our position. It's not been given. Now the flag does go up because the Norwich man was going to get on the end of it.
Infuriating when the linesman do that. He was clearly offside, wasn't he, the wide player?
Yes.
He comes inside, he's going to receive the ball, but he waits till the last minute to put the flag up and makes all the defenders, and us included, all nervous.
Yeah,
good line though from the back four. Good line from the back. And they've done that quite well so far.
And like you say, it was blatantly offside, and Southampton will have the free kick. And it's a testament as well to the back four because, like I alluded to earlier, they haven't had a lot of time together. I'm pretty sure that Bevis Mugabe and Ollie Cook have not played too many minutes together. And with DeBayo on the left and Flanagan on the right, it's not
there's been times this season as well that Bevis Mugabe's been playing on the right as well, and that's not sometimes the easiest thing to do, change sides as a centre-half, and Ollie on the weekend when he played with the under-18s against Brighton played on the left, so they've both actually switched sides for this game. So yeah, credit to them so far, and they need to keep that discipline for the rest of the match.
Well, here's Dominic Gape, who's been putting in a shift in the engine room for Southampton this evening. Ollie Cook. Flanagan's actually made a run ahead of him. This one's launched forward towards Seager. The defender can't take any chances. And with 17 minutes to go, here at St Mary's, Southampton leading by Ryan Seager's goal to nil. The goal coming in the first half. Here is that aforementioned Seager, Josh Sims. Now Jake Flanagan. Josh DeBayo puts a foot in, concedes the throw in, and Martin Hunt. Sorry.
I was just going to say it's been great to see Armani Little play in the midfield there, and he's just been a good foil for Dominic Gape and Sam McQueen. He hasn't tried too hard or done anything too difficult, but he's just looked to, when he has got the ball from the back four, just keep it moving and look to try and compete like he has there. Obviously he's physically quite small, but he's done quite well in that midfield.
Fox goes out to Norman down the line. A couple couple of Southampton players just finished their warm-ups. Marcus Barnes, one of those warming up. The under-18's top goal scorer with 11 goals to his name this season in 13 appearances.
Good
Flanagan.
play.
Nice pass to Sam McQueen. Composed play by Ollie Cook. Sinclair, is he onside? No, once again the flag goes up a little bit late. And well, Norwich have made all three of their substitutions, but Southampton yet to make any. There are options, as we mentioned before. Niall Mason is one of them, who can play at right back or centre back. Harley Willard had a couple of minutes for the 21s this season, but has mainly been playing at the under-18s. And Marcus, who of course yet to make an under-21s appearance, but has been scoring plenty for you guys.
Yeah, he'd be really keen to get on in a game like this where we've been creating a few chances. He's done well this season and improved in a lot of areas, including his work rate, and it's been great to see him get the goals that he's deserved, and hopefully he can kick on for the rest of the season and get a few more goals for the 18s.
Flanagan needs to defend here, and he does. That was a brilliant challenge by Jake Flanagan. Gape's pass has found Josh Sims. Of course, the other substitute on the bench is Callum Slattery, 15 years of age. And a quick word for him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he had a great game in the Youth Cup against West Ham, scoring a fantastic goal from distance.
It's a long ball forward, which Ollie Cook has to deal with. Good defending.
And he also had a good assist in the game as well for Dan Demkiv early on, which got us back into the match. So he really came well, and he's been training hard, working ever so well and competing at this level. So he deserves to earn.
That's the voice of Anthony Limerick, the under-18s coach, and of course their big day next Wednesday night up at Goodison Park. I say the big day, of course the big day was probably at St Mary's, and that they're all big days in the FA Youth Cup. It is probably the competition that everyone wants to play in, the one where you probably have the selection headache because all the players are knocking at your door saying, I want to play in that one.
Of course, I think all the players look forward to those games, and that's what it's about, playing in the bigger games. I mean, Everton will be a very, very tough match. They're a good side. I think they're second in their league in the northern section of the under-18s Premier League, so we're under no illusion it'll be very hard, but I think on our day we can beat anyone if we can put in a performance. And
Sims at the back post, it's saved by the goalkeeper. No offside flag there. Sinclair's cross, and Sims lurking in behind the centre-back. Got his shot away, but the goalkeeper saved it well.
Good run again from Josh, causing the full-back problems, and he does deserve a goal tonight. He's found himself in some good positions.
He's putting plenty of effort, Josh Sims, working back and defending as well as showing what he's got in an attacking sense. That ball's going to go all the way through to Remy Matthews. 77 minutes on the clock here at St Mary's. Remember, there has to be a winner tonight. Thankfully, Southampton are currently winning by 1-0, but a Norwich equaliser could potentially see us facing 30 minutes of extra time and penalties should we require it. At the moment, we don't, because Southampton are leading 1-0. Here's Sam Kelly up against Flanagan, who hasn't really put a foot wrong tonight, Jake Flanagan. Sam Kelly will get the throw in. That's just chested behind for a Southampton goal kick.
I think as the time wears on in the game, Norwich will try and push forward more, looking for that equaliser, and hopefully we can get a chance on the break. I think the game will open up a little bit. It's a really important 5 minutes that we make sure we stay solid at the back and not give away any chances, but I can see us having another chance up at our end if we can catch them on the break with the gaps that they might be leaving, pushing for that equaliser.
There'll certainly be a few sore legs in the Saints camp tomorrow, because this is a big pitch that they're playing on, and we're not used to playing on a Monday and then on a Thursday. Sinclair's the option from Little's pass. Sinclair hits it first time, parried by the keeper. Sims can't get there ahead of the goalkeeper, and it's going to go out for a Southampton corner. Excellent shot from Sinclair, because that's not easy to do, and a great pass from Armani Little to
Brilliant
find him.
ball from Armani outside the right foot, and Jake on his non-favoured left foot. Fantastic strike and worked the keeper well. Thought we were going to follow him from the rebound there, but the Norwich defender did well to clear it and go out for a corner.
It's going to be another chance for Ollie Cook and Bevis Mugabe to come up. Bevis scored on Monday night against Fulham. 2 goals from set pieces actually, because Jason McCarthy got the other one. And Sam McQueen is going to whip this one in left-footed. 6 players in the box for Southampton. Towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It was Mugabe the target. Sims wins the header. Cook brings it down. Nice feet from Cook, but couldn't quite get it under control. Probably doesn't score too many goals where he dribbles it past 2 players and then finds the bottom corner, Ollie Cook.
He doesn't normally dribble past 2 players very often at all, if we're honest.
Long ball down the line looking for Norman. Norman has got an option in the box. There's no free kick given. He wants one. He's not going to be given it. The Saints will bring the ball away through Armani Little. The game just getting a little bit feisty as the challenge goes in. The referee is given a free kick. Well, having not got the free kick a few seconds earlier, I think that Cameron Norman has just got a little bit frustrated. And he's gone in late on Armani Little.
It's one of those ones you could see that foul coming from a number 7, wasn't it? Having not got the free kick earlier from Dominic Gape, who I thought was good defending, to be honest, from Dominic, tracking back in. And Armani held on the ball for a little bit too long, Armani Little there, and drew the foul off for number 7. And he gave him the yellow card there?
Yep, third yellow card for Norwich. Norman, Grant and Kelly all on yellow cards. Bevis Mugabe, of course, in the book for Southampton.
Like I said, important period that we don't get too carried away with the game here, Southampton. I think we need to stay disciplined, make sure we're not the ones who are getting the yellow cards and making sure we have the 11 players on the pitch. Norwich will want to try and do this to us, make us frustrated. And hopefully we can keep our heads and make sure we keep playing our football and catch them on the break like we spoke about before.
Yeah, that second goal would really seal this one, as Armani Little does well to win the header. With the score at 1-0, Norwich are always a threat. That ball's going to go out for a Southampton throw-in. Just taken into Ryan Seeger. Turns the defender, gets into the penalty area. Seeger chips the ball in. Surely not, it's hit the post. It's going to come back to Sam McQueen, who hits it in off the post. Southampton
finish from
seal
Sam.
the win. They're surely through to the next round of the Under-21s Premier League Cup. It was a glorious shot from Ryan Seeger that came back off the upright, and this time it fell to Sam McQueen. His shot hit the post, but it found the back of the net, and Southampton lead Norwich City by 2-0. Anthony
Great
Limbrick.
turn from Ryan Seeger, and it seemed to take forever for that ball to come off the post, and Sam McQueen in the right position, and a great finish from him, and I think thoroughly deserved in the second half.
And that should just about be that. So we don't want to speak too soon, but
I think with the amount of chances and good chances that we've had in this second half, I think we more than deserve to win the game, and we'd like to see it out now at 2-0 and hopefully keep the clean sheet.
Here's Cameron Norman. I have to say a quick word for Ryan Seeger's shot before that, because if that had gone in, we would have been talking about that one for days and weeks to come. It was a fantastic effort.
Well, he did turn his man well on the edge of the box and thought he was going to open up for the shot, and he did, and just clipped it into the keeper as Josh Sims breaks forward now.
And the defender gets back, nearly gives Sims the ball back. Sims is pushed over. That was in the box. Well, that was in the box. There's no question about it. That was about 2 yards inside the penalty area. I can't believe the referee has not given that as a penalty. I mean, you could perhaps debate whether it was a foul to start with, but if he's given the foul, that looked inside the penalty area. Am I wrong? Or was that in the box?
It did. It did look like it was in the penalty. I think he fell over so far, Josh Sims, that it looked like it may have been outside. But yeah, looking at the replay now, it was definitely inside the box. He's one of those players that he just seems to get in the tight spaces, Josh Sims, and he's very hard to play against. I'm sure a lot of defenders look at him and underestimate him.
McQueen with the free kick low towards Seeger. First time shot blocked. And Norwich will come away with it. Oh. And this time Norwich will have a free kick over on that far side. Well, just kind of going back to that, I think what happened with that free kick that was given outside the box was that the linesman on this near side flagged, but because he didn't put the flag across his chest to signal the penalty, the referee sort of gave it as a free kick, thinking the linesman was in a better position. I mean,
surely the linesman from that angle there, he's about 16 yards away, surely can see that that's inside the box, but we're not complaining as much, we probably aren't, as we're 2-0 up. So.
No, that's right. Had it been 0-0 at this stage, she'd been screaming at the linesman for that, but as it is, Southampton leading by 2-0. They have got some defending to do here. As the ball comes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and Will Britt goes up and takes that pretty comfortably. And for a goalkeeper who has obviously not had too much experience with the 21s, he has been away on loan at Maidenhead United. He's done well tonight, Will.
I was just going to say, he looks really sort of match sharp, like he's played a bit of football. I think he's only had the one real mistake where he had the poor kick out, but apart from that, he hasn't had that much to do, but what he has had to do, he's done well. His clearances, coming and taking a couple of important crosses like he did then. I've been impressed with him and pleased for him.
Here's Sam McQueen, chips the ball in towards Sinclair. The defender needed to deal with it. Norwich looking to try and break forward. Can they get a goal to try and make this game a little bit more interesting in the closing stages? Southampton leading by 2-0 with 85 minutes on the watch. Here's Raymond Grant. Paul Johnson tries to slide the ball into the feet of Ramsey. There's a free kick gone Norwich's way. The crowd getting a little bit agitated over there on the far side of the pitch.
Yeah, mainly to do with the number 7, Cameron Norman, at the moment. He seems to be falling over quite easily whenever tackled, but doesn't mind putting in a tackle himself. Looks like Harley Willard might be coming on.
Yeah.
Possibly for maybe Sinclair or Sam McQueen, I think.
I've just watched the replay of that foul and soft, I think. Went down quite easily. We are going to see a Southampton change in a moment. First of all, there's some defending to do. Ollie Cook does well up against Nathan Fox. Norwich will keep the pressure on though. Flanagan slides across, gets a foot in. Flanagan rides a challenge. He'll continue forward as the ball goes to Josh Sims. Seeger's at the back post. Flanagan's on the edge of the penalty area with the ball towards Seeger, and from 6 yards out, the ball, it bounced in front of him, to give him credit. It wasn't quite the simple finish that it looked like, but Seeger skewed that one wide.
What a great run by Jake Flanagan. Just winning the ball with a great tackle, played Josh Sims, joined in, got himself forward, and he really put some pace on the cross, didn't he? And probably a harder chance than what Seeger would have liked. But I think to get the ball quickly across the box, he needed to put the pace on it, Flanagan. It just shows what he can do from right back in those positions.
Well, we are going to see Jake Sinclair come off, and I think that's a good 87-minute shift for Jake Sinclair.
Please, probably more than what we thought he'd be able to play. Like we said, he hadn't had a lot of game time recently, and more so the performance would be really pleasing for him, and mainly his defensive work rate's just been fantastic tonight, I think, Jake, and he assisted with the first goal, and he's looked quite lively when he's been driving at their back four from that wide position coming inside. So pleased for him that he's come back and had a good performance, and I'm sure Martin will be as well.
Had a sniff of Southampton first team action last season in the Capital One Cup, came on up at Barnsley, I recall. And yeah, the loan spell at Hibs, although he doesn't seem to have played too often up in Scotland, he seems to have come back and looks pretty match sharp. Harley Willard on, of course. What sort of a player is he?
He's left-footed Harley, loves to dribble, get crosses in the box, and to be honest, is quite an exciting player. Someone that we've just had sort of to the back end of last season, and he'd be looking to make his mark.
McQueen does find Willard over on that left-hand side. His first job is to cross the ball in deep. Sims brings it down, probably caught in two minds there of whether to shoot or knock it back, and in the end he just passes it out for a goal kick.
But yeah, it's a good opportunity for Harley to play in the 21s. I think he started against Tottenham in the 21s and in a friendly against Bournemouth. So he'll be looking to impress tonight and get on the ball and try and take on the fullback and get his crosses in.
Now he's got the chance to do just that. The cross comes off the defender and out for a Southampton corner. We've got a minute and a half to go here at St Mary's. Remember, Southampton's first team in action this coming Saturday up at Newcastle, a 5:30 kick-off up on Tyneside. Southampton's under-18s in action against West Ham. It's a lunchtime kick-off on Saturday. And Saints under-21s next in action, possibly in the next round of this competition. That match against Watford. If they see off Norwich, the corner's drilled in towards the near post. Not the best corner, but we'll get another chance to deliver it, will we? No, we're going to let it run out for a throw-in. And we're going to see another substitution, and this time it will be the first under-21s appearance of the season for the under-18s top scorer, Marcus Barnes.
Yeah, great to see him get a little bit of time, albeit only a couple of minutes, but he'll be pleased to come on and make his debut for the 21s.
And Ryan Seeger is going to be replaced, and again a good shift from Ryan, got the goal and has looked pretty lively up top.
Yeah, it was a good finish from him early on in the first half. He'd be a bit disappointed with the chance he just had recently, but yeah, he'd be happy with it, with his night's work, and any striker who gets on the score sheet and scores in from those sort of positions, it'd be happy. His specialty is in and around that 6-yard box, so he'd be pleased that he got on the end of that early in the first half.
And Marcus Barnes is going to get stoppage time. We'll have 3 minutes of that. The ball is just kept in the corner by Sam McQueen up against Hull Johnson, the Norwich captain. Ball played in, and the goalkeeper comes across and collects that. And Marcus Barnes just tries to make a nuisance of himself in front of the goalkeeper. Bevis Mugabe with some late defending to do. Just lets the ball run out for a goal kick.
I think if you look at the performance tonight, you'd after starting quite solidly, but possibly not doing enough in possession. I think considering such a young side that Martin and Raddy have had to put out tonight, with 4 under-18 starting the game, and obviously 2 more of the young ones coming on. I think, and with a couple of players missing and due to them being called in the first team, which is what we want, I think you'd be overall happy with the performance. It looks like we've more than matched them physically, and just a little bit of quality's come through in the end.
Over 1,000 of you watching on YouTube tonight. We thank you for that. That's the voice of Anthony Limbrick, and Limbo, your under-18s face West Ham this coming Saturday. Just give us your pre-match thoughts, because obviously you met them earlier in the season in the FA Youth Cup. It's going to be a tough test for you guys.
Yeah, we know them well. I don't think they'll be too happy playing us again after we knocked them out in the FA Youth Cup. We know their style quite well. They're quite dynamic and try to play good football, but physically probably quite dangerous, their front three. So yeah, it is always a tough game when we play against them. I mean, we'll have one eye on the Youth Cup game on Wednesday as well, with some of the players from here being involved in the Youth Cup Wednesday. So we'll be quite young, and possibly giving the opportunity to some of the first years and definitely some of the 16s who might come into the 18 side. So it'll be a tough game for us, but one we're always looking forward to give the opportunity to the younger players to make their mark.
Norwich with a bit of late attacking. I think we're going to see Callum Slattery come on in just a moment, but Norwich trying to work it around the edge of the box. Good footing comes from Josh DeBayo. The shot comes in low, it goes just wide, but the free kick has been pulled back anyway. And I think Martin Hunter is actually now telling Callum Slattery that perhaps he's not just going to come on just yet. Southampton have some defending to do. A free kick and a chance for Norwich to perhaps put some pressure on Wilbritt's goal.
It's always superstitious, I think, for a coach not to bring on a substitute for a defensive set play. So hopefully there's enough time for him to get on.
Yeah, I'd say we've probably played 2 of the 3 minutes added on. As Norwich have this free kick. It's just slightly right of centre, but I think it's going to be the right foot of Cameron Norman. He's riled the crowd up. Can he get the Norwich fans off his seat? It's over the wall and it hits the top of the crossbar. Excellent free kick from Cameron Norman. It's just not quite been his night.
It hasn't, no. Superb strike, to be honest. I think Wilbritt was stood still in the middle of the goal watching that one, but pleased that he didn't score, because I think we really have deserved to keep the clean sheet tonight.
And we are going to see an under-21s debut for Callum Slattery. And it's going to be in place of Sam McQueen. And we talk about Sam McQueen, he's put in another decent showing, getting on the ball a lot, drifting out to the wings and in the hole. He's put in a good shift tonight.
He has. He's certainly a talent, Sam. When he is in full flow and playing forward and dribbling and running at players, he is really dangerous. And glad he got his goal, and it has been a really good performance from him. He'd be pleased with that, especially playing 2 games in a week as well.
Nathan Fox wins the header. Josh Sims picks it up for Southampton. Options left and right, finds Armani Little, just runs into trouble a little bit, but it falls comfortably for Ollie Cook. Southampton with a little bit of defending to do late on. Here's Nathan Fox.
I think if you look
Paul
at the side
Johnson.
now, you've got 4 second-year under-18s, a couple of first years and under-16 on the pitch. So really pleasing performance tonight, and happy to get the win and the clean sheet. Scored 2 good goals.
And through to the next round
Yeah,
of the
fantastic.
competition. A competition that you look at and potentially a chance to go quite far in. Southampton into the quarter-finals of this cup now.
Well, I think any cup competition you want to impose yourself in and get through to the next round, and another round is another game. And like you said before, the 21s unfortunately don't have as many fixtures, so it's been a great January for them, having regular fixtures each week, and now there'll be another one against Watford. So yeah, pleasing all round from everyone.
Job done. Anthony, thank you so much for your time tonight. It's been a pleasure having you up here in the commentary position. A great Southampton win and through to the next round of the Under-21 Premier League Cup. Goals from Ryan Seeger and Sam McQueen have sealed victory for Martin Hunter's side. Southampton through to the next round of the competition. It's finished Norwich 0, Southampton 2.